All right, Friday, July 5, just about 7 a.m. Market had some news at 5:30. Big shot both ways, and then it looks like we're going up. So this is new all-time highs. This is daily chart, so all-time highs, day after 4th of July. So I wasn't sure if I was going to trade today, but I woke up, so I figured I might as well come in. I have a first entry, second entry. Trying to fail. I think I could do. Probably measure this way too. And puts us where we are. All right, so hopefully I can find some trades. I did a little bit of playback the other day, and kind of trying some things with the Bollinger Bands with mixed results. Measurement is already reached. Now it's just how high can this market continue to go? Beyond my measured move. Two legs out. This is like a third leg out. All right, reached the measured move, got a little past it. Now we're seeing a little bit of a sell-off. So we'll see here. Could trigger a second entry. I don't like the way it just burst right through this. So I might be looking for a failure or a second entry short for another leg down, potentially. I'm not sure I really like the long right here. You kind of expect a retest of this high and get it here. And this is not at any important level. Looks like it's going to trigger that second entry. No, it just barely doesn't so far. I thought I was going to trigger it right there. It doesn't. I was kind of hoping it was going to trigger and then I can do a short underneath, but all right. Let's see what we do from here. Maybe a second entry off the inside bar. All right, so that triggered. ATR is pretty high, about 64 ticks. I'll probably take a failure here if it ticks below. especially if it rejects here at the midline. No, don't do it to me. No good. No good. These have been working a lot, so I had to go for it. But I'll go for it again here for a second entry short. Yeah, I guess we are going to go retest that high. All right. When I've seen it cut through the midline like that, so often it's worked. But not this time. Get the stats. I'm too good lately. I guess I should have been a little bit more skeptical, thinking we have to retest that high, but I've just seen it work so many times. Right at the midline. See if I can get a failure of the second entry short with the expectation of going for the high. And we cut right through the middle line here. All right. That goes with the original thesis of retesting the high. Hopefully I can get a runner out of this. No, don't come back. And slippage, of course. Well, I like that trade much better. Unfortunate that I had to take that loss. I really thought it was going to pop there. I guess now it's going to go for the highs after clearing me out. Three ticks of slippage on my stop exit. Ah, getting a little too nervous about it going. Oh, there it goes, of course. All right, now it's just a break even. I wanted to just pop. I didn't want to risk this full amount. See if I did the right thing by taking my break even. I was hoping it was just going to pop up, but and there it goes. Still not quite enough. Seems like it's going to work though, if I just stayed with it. All right, did it get far enough? That would have worked here for me. No, just a little shy. Well, I think I did the right thing, taking my break even. Bollinger's extremely tight. Expecting to move up. It's pretty risky here. Don't like this. No. Definitely a very risky trade here. No, it's gonna be no good. Maybe I get lucky. I like going for the retest of the high here. A lot of resistance though. No. The Bollinger's so tight, I was expecting maybe a big burst through it. So you expect a bulge here. Can I do it? All right. So that's what I was expecting to go for a new high. Don't come back. Trying to give it a chance to run. Come on, give me one. Don't come back. I know you're going to the top. Just let me get there with you. Come on. Going to the top. Let me go with you. No, don't come back. That's a bummer. So I know it's coming up here. I just know it is. I guess it's not going up there now. All right. Well, I got a little bit. Yeah, my first loss is just too big. I didn't even realize I blew the evaluation. I didn't even realize it. I'm not sure when that happened, but okay, that's an admin. It's fine. Just an evaluation. Wow, so it's not getting there though. Look at that. I assume I blew that evaluation on this drawdown right here. I didn't realize it when it happened, so I'm not sure. All right, well, time to add another PA to the mix. So I'll trade PA 13 on the next trade, along with 11 and 12. Well, I still believe it has to get up here. I mean, if I were to draw a trend, yeah, I mean, that's a really healthy trend. So you definitely expect to retest that high. I really thought this was going to get there, but maybe I had to trap more shorts and then go. Unsure. So now it's just going to get there nice and easy without me. All right, I'm going to take a 1 minute break. I'll be right back. All right, back just in time to get to see the new high, I guess. I was really hoping it was going to happen over here, but it's doing it without me. And I don't mind this trade. I mean, I had in my mind that we're going to retest the high, but when it shoots through the midline like this, there's so many times where this will work. Whether it's a failed second entry long or a second entry short in this spot. Then once it didn't work, I knew that we should be going for the retest of the high. So it was like every opportunity to go long I was trying to take. All right, so new low, first entry, second entry short. Still expecting the new high. But this resistance is I'm expecting a new high, but this seems really risky to go long right here. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that would have worked. This one was risky. This one was risky. I might as well have done that one too. This one's probably the one that would give the runner. Actually, all three of my trades today have been risky. Got the loss in the first one. I should have taken this because my whole theory was that we're retesting the high. That's why I took these two. So Alright, so now we've got the new high. I just gotta chill and see what develops. I'm kicking myself a little bit that I didn't take this long right here above this bar. Right, nothing for me to do for now. Let's see if there's continuation off the new high or if this thing starts to back up now that it did that. Roman, are you here to troll me today, or are you here to be a positive contributor? Because you come off as a troller, and if you're going to be trolling me, I'm just going to block you for good. Not interested in trolling. And you've been coming off as a troll for a number of days now. I don't know if you realize, Roman, but I got a loss and I followed it up with 2 wins. So it's not like I got a loss and went on tilt. I got a loss, kept my composure, had contextual reasons for my trades, and took a few wins on the back of the loss. And I'm down a couple $100. So Roman says he wants to know why I blocked him on what day was it? On Wednesday? Because you come off like a troll. That's why I blocked you. If you're not going to talk about trading, if you're not going to respect what I've already told you about my channel, then I'm going to block you for good. Because I don't need trolls here. I got very little viewership, and the people that want to speak in the chat, if they're not going to be people that are trying to uplift, then I'm going to say see ya, because that's not what this channel's for. So I've already told you a number of times that I trade the way I trade. I don't need to be told how to trade. So if you can respect that, then I won't block you, because I've never blocked anyone before. But if you're going to continue to tell me how to trade, or tell me that you know what the market's going to do next, and if you're going to continue to come in this chat and say the market's going to do this, the market's going to do that, and be definitive about it, I'm going to block you, because you don't know what the market's going to do next. And you've proven it a number of times. Roman says, I have another site on the market. That's why you blocked me. No, I blocked you because you're not respecting what I've told you many times about what my channel is for. And you've just become a distraction. So if you're here to distract me, I'm going to block you, because I don't need a distraction. I'm trying to do my own thing and trade. And you're doing it again today. You're distracting me from the chart. And it's just all about you. This channel is not about you, dude. So if you want this channel to be about you, you're going to get blocked. As you can see, I didn't block you the other day. I put you on timeout. It's different. You're on timeout for the day. If you continue to troll, you will be permanently blocked. Roman, you're such an idiot. Roman says, I can make over 1,000% in a year and you want to block me. That's not intelligent. First of all, you spelled intelligent wrong. So that's not intelligent. Okay. So get your grammar correct. I know English isn't your first language, but it's not intelligent to spell incorrectly. Second of all, this channel is not about you. Third of all, you've already told me that you have no money and you can't trade. You've only been trading MNQ for 6 months. and you have no money and you're trying to get money, you're going to take out a loan from a bank to try to trade. So that's not very intelligent to take out a loan to trade. So you are on the cusp of getting blocked. Say one more stupid thing in this channel and you're gone, out of here, because I don't need you. I don't give a fuck. So go ahead and get your response in before I block you. What would you like to tell me? This guy thinks he can trade. He's traded M and Q for 6 months. He thinks he has, he can make over 1,000%. Where's your 1,000% in a year, dude? You said you have no money. When are you making 1,000% in a year? Such a fool. Just a wannabe. Start your YouTube channel so we can all see you make your 1,000% a year. What an idiot. The dude admits that he has no money, but he's going to come in here and try to represent like he can make 1,000% a year. What a moron. You sound like a fucking dumbass. I love people that try to tell someone that they're not intelligent, but they can't even spell intelligent correctly. You're an idiot, Roman. My God. Go fuck off. Talk to somebody else. Guy says he can make 1,000% a year, yet he's watching me. What a moron. Roman says, you even don't know my situation. I'd never come here if I had money. No one will start channel. How am I able to make 100%? Roman, you're out of here, dude. I'm done with you. You're so stupid. Okay. Think what you want to think, but you are being blocked from my channel. So have a nice one. If I can figure out how to permanently block somebody. How do you unblock somebody? Never done it before. Fuck off, Roman. Congratulations to Roman. He's the first person I've ever blocked in my live chat. But when you're an idiot and you're just here to troll, I'm going to say fuck off. All right, now I can get back to following the chart and looking for trades. I hope Roman will go ahead and unsubscribe from my channel if he's still listening. Unsubscribe, go follow someone else that cares. Go try to find someone else on YouTube that wants to listen to you, since you seem to have no friends to talk to. All right. All right. Not much happening right now. I feel like all three of my trades were risky. This one was based on the first one that I lost was based on my observation of when price cuts through the Bollinger, through the middle. A lot of times it'll get rejected at the midline and make one more test down. So I took a failed second entry long there. Didn't work out. Before that happened, I was thinking that we needed to retest the high. So after that didn't work, I switched gears and figured, okay, well, it cut through again in the other direction with the expectation of a retest of the high, which it eventually got. So that's why I took a failed second entry short for a long. Got enough for my scalp, but obviously the runner didn't run, got stopped out. And then I took a break even here with the same kind of thought. And it was kind of like a first entry, second entry long. This would have ended up working, but I just took a break even. And then this trade was a new low, first entry, second entry short again. Really tight Bollinger. I was expecting the bulge, and it did eventually bulge. It looked like it was going against me right away at first, but then it bulged, and I was able to get my scalp. But unfortunately, I was hoping it would run all the way up and I'd take my profit somewhere up here, but instead it came and took my runner out again. So that's where I'm at. If I had taken both contracts for the full scalp on each one, I'd be green right now. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe after I take a red trade, maybe I need to just take both contracts off at the scalp and get back into positive territory. So that's something I'll consider in the future. There's new low, first entry, potential second entry short setting up. I've got no kind of contextual theory about what's going on in this market at the moment, so I'm just going to chill for a minute. So just chilling here. Maybe I'll do something like this. See if something like that's in play. This is a failed second entry short, but I had no reason to go long at this point. Take this off. Curious. This kind of looks like one leg, second leg. So we'll see what happens here if it respects this or not. Yeah, I really wasn't thinking about it, but I definitely, after a loss, I think I want to take both contracts off at the scalp, because in a situation like this where I get two scalps immediately, or I mean, if I get two scalps, two wins, like I would be green for the day instead of only taking on the one contract. So I think that'll be kind of my new strategy as I move forward, is if I get a loss and I keep trading, when I take wins or when I take trades after that, it's going to be about taking both contracts as a scalp, not go for the runner. And then I know what's going to happen though, so definitely the next time I try to do it that way, there'll be a runner on that next trade, right? And I'll be like, oh man, I missed out on all that extra. But in this case, I'd be green right now. So I have to strongly consider that. That's the problem too with only trading 2 contracts and using 1 as a runner, is when I get my scalps, I'm only getting 50% of my win when it comes back and takes me out my break even, but I'm getting 100% of my loser. So I don't know. It's hard to say though, because on both of these, I felt like it was going to go retest the high, which it eventually did, but it had a bunch more pullbacks before it eventually got there. So this could have easily just gone and done it in one swoop. So I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. I'm down like 300 and 270. So it's a small loss. Forgot to update my days traded. It's pretty crazy. This market just, all it knows how to do is keep going up. I mean, it's pretty crazy because is the economy really that good? All the financial situation of everything. Is it really this good that we're just continuing to go to all-time highs? But man, I mean, we're going to be at 21,000 before we know it. So if I do get another trade, I will add PA13 to it with the hopes that it'll be a win. And I'll either be, around break even or positive on those 11 and 12 accounts, and then be green on the third account. So we'll see. I also likely won't be able to trade much longer today. So My daughter's still home today with the holiday, and my wife has to work today, so I will be taking care of her when she gets up, I think. Is this thing gonna just continue to grind up now? Every day just feels like a melt up in the market. It feels like it's setting up for a big pullback though. I mean, I don't know when and I don't know how, but the way this thing just continues to melt up, the market seems way stronger than it should be, but I feel like this always happens leading up to a presidential election from my memory. And then once we get like to the election or after it or right before it, things start to change. So see what happens this year. But I mean, it just really seems unnatural, doesn't it? I mean, if I try to draw a trend, I mean, I would have thought that it was an overshoot over here already, but then it still goes up. Maybe if I do it a little wider, still seems like we're overshooting. If I pull it out, I guess this is reacting at the midline this way. So I don't know, two different ways to see that if you're using trend lines. Basically new high, got a first entry to the long side. Days like this, I always struggle at this point of the day. You know, all the measure moves seem to be reached. Seems like all of the potential trends have new highs in place. And so I get real skeptical of continuing to go long all the way up here. So there would be a potential second entry long on the next move up. Not looking like something I'd want to take. I'm kind of thinking the longs are a little suspect right now. So if the long triggers, I might consider going for a failure for that measure move. It'd also be a new low, first entry, second entry short. It looks like it's taking that off the table. All right. All right, so I mean, the way that happened, I would have never gone long there. So I still just really have no kind of larger context in mind at this point. I mean, I never considered, like, maybe if I take something like this, it doesn't really seem to work. If I take it from like down here, just to have curiosity. I mean, I guess you can argue, because you had to break a new high already there. So, yeah, I don't really see a contextual reason for it to keep going up other than that. That's what the market's been doing. It doesn't really work. That's why I hate trend lines. It's very subjective. So just don't bet against the market right now. Longs are continuing to be good. Well, 3 trades in a day is more than I've been getting lately. How far did this one go anyway? I mean, about 3 3/4 points. I was waiting for it to tick just slightly lower, and I was going to move my stop to break even, so. Yeah, I don't mind the trade. I mean, that one fit my observation that has been working. It's got to be working 8 or 9 out of 10 times. And essentially this trade was the same in reverse. So it's fine. It's a bummer I blew up my 250k eval, but that's the least of my concern at the moment. Here, new low, first entry short, barely second entry short, failure. I just don't see a reason I mean, other than the fact that the market keeps going up, I don't see a reason to take that failure for a long. Seems highly risky. There it goes. I always have problems on these like this when it gets to this point. I would need it to go all the way up here for my profit target that I like to go for. Oops. Need that there, see if it hits it. Come up short so far. Setting up the higher low to get there. Maybe. So take these off. Take this off. Hey, Digital. How you doing, man? I've been going all right. Been hitting a few little rough spots here and there, but as you can see, I'm red today. But yeah, no complaints. How are you? How's trading been for you? I found it pretty difficult the last couple weeks. And I always find it difficult when we get into these all-time highs territory. All right, so this looks like it would have. No, still short. Almost. All right, so there it reached my profit target if I would have taken the long up here. Too sketchy for me. I think all of my trades have been pretty aggressive today. Yeah, Digital. I haven't had a chance to check out your channel lately. How have you been? Digital says, not so bad myself. Keep it calm this week. Yeah, good. Yeah, just my loss today was based on a recent observation with the Bollinger Bands. This trade usually has been working. I feel like it's like 8 or 9 out of 10 times it works, so I don't feel horrible about taking the loss there. And then my next trade was essentially the same in reverse, going for the long. And then this trade was expecting a retest of the highs ultimately. Struggled at first and then got there. But yeah, I definitely just find the market melting up like this. I have a really hard time finding longs on a day like today. Like kind of after the point of reaching a new high for the day, I start getting really skeptical about longs, and it just keeps going. Digital says, "Oh, I haven't been posting recaps like I should." Oh, really? And maybe that's why I haven't. Maybe I just haven't seen your channel pop up in my list of the recent stuff, or active. Maybe that's why I haven't seen you. But yeah, man, you should post. I feel like it helps me, even just doing the live stream helps me when I'm like getting my thoughts out. I could go back, watch it later and like, oh yeah, I was thinking this, why did I do that? Like my first trade today, I was already thinking to retest the highs before I took this trade, but the way it set up, as I go, well, there's a good chance that it will retest these lows before it does go back and retest the highs. But if I'd stuck with my original context, I would have skipped this, and then this would have been my first trade. So yeah, Digital says exactly. Yeah, it's kind of, our own journals, it's helpful. I know you say that you don't always do a lot of narrating or anything too, but even still, just being able to look back and see what your actions were, I guess helps. Oh, Digital. Okay, I got it. So he says, yeah, he's live every day and he rewatches them. You're just talking about the reviews. Got it. Yeah, I haven't been doing reviews lately either. I've just been putting kind of like taking a screenshot at the end of my trading session and putting it as my thumbnail so I could just kind of see it for myself. And then I can just go back and watch the live, and it's kind of like one big review for me, because I don't have a lot of time lately to do reviews at the end of the day because my daughter's been out of school and stuff because of summer. Yeah, Digital says, but I think recaps would help. Yeah, I mean, I actually liked doing the recaps just for that reason. It was like a really consolidated, concise way of just putting my thoughts out there for the day of like where I messed up or where I did well, when I was right about market context, when I was wrong, just kind of stuff like that. And this thing just won't quit. Like these days are always frustrating for me when the market turns into this, because, you know, you always feel like, well, if you just bought almost anywhere, you would have won. But the second you actually decide to do it, or the second I decide to do it, I'll take a loss. I always end up taking a loss whenever I try to chase the train. Have you been evolving your strategy at all, digital, or are you still sticking with the tried and true? Are you modifying anything lately? Digital says, I help weed out all the dead action during the live stream. What do you mean? What do you mean? Help weed out all the dead action during the live stream. Not exactly sure what you mean by that. Oh, it helps weed out. I got it. I understand now. Yeah. Yeah, that way you can just have like a review video where you just talk about the important parts of the day as you saw it, and then you don't have to, like, you know, for me, like all of this, there's just like nothing that I really can strongly consider. So you just don't even have to think about it or talk about it. Yeah. So I don't know, I keep like thinking, like, is there a way to draw something from down here? Just, it doesn't help. I don't see anything that's helpful to draw. I try not to draw trend lines anymore because I don't find them helpful. I find them to be subjective and unhelpful, because you put something like this on and you expect it, okay, if it comes back here, I'll take a trade. And then that's when you'll get your loss. That's when I'll get my loss. So I try not to draw those anymore. But yeah, this thing just has no quit in it. I mean, I almost wonder, like, should I be drawing from here? Like, that's a channel, or I mean a leg. Well, interestingly enough, that puts me right where current price action is. I don't know. I mean, that looks weird to me though, because that doesn't look like one leg. I mean, that looks like two very clear legs. But I guess if you take them as one leg, or I guess even crazier, if you do this, and that gives you an even bigger target. So I'll put that up here. Let's see if it reaches that. Because that kind of looks like, it's a really weird looking leg, right? But 1, 2, I don't know. Just ideas floating around. I mean, I know that from the one way I did it, we're there now. So if there's some big pullback, I'll continue to be skeptical about longs. If this thing continues to grind up, then maybe that's really where we're going, which is crazy. 26.40 almost, maybe 26.35. Digital says same strat, little tweaking, but nothing crazy. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like once you learn a strategy that you've been doing a long time, it's really hard to ignore it or move on to something else or really change it too significantly. There's always like fundamental things about it that are so ingrained. You know, and it's not like I've been doing poorly. Like I've been able to pass evaluations. I still can't get over the hump of getting to payout, but, you know, it's not like I'm doing terribly. To lose $270 or $290 on an account in a day is, you know, it's a small loss. I can live with that if that's where it ends today. Also, still just waiting for my daughter to wake up because I think when she wakes up, I likely have to stop trading. Which at this point, the way this market's moving is fine for me because, I'm not likely to find trades in this kind of price action. Just the slow grind up. Digital, thanks for coming by though and saying hi and everything and checking in because it's nice to have someone who's a positive person and a supportive person in the chat. I've had someone that was basically trolling me for the past week or so that I eventually finally had to block today. So I appreciate someone coming by that's just genuinely interested in seeing other people do well, and someone more like you than someone like them. It's so funny. It's like my channel's so small, I don't know what someone gets out of by coming here to troll me, but I guess people have nothing better to do with their time. Yeah, so I see you still have your, I see your live streams are still being put up. I don't know why I've been missing them. I guess I just haven't, honestly, I haven't really been watching a ton of trading videos lately. So maybe that's why. But yeah, I'll have to check in on your stuff more often. I don't do it live or during the live market while I'm trading because I just don't like to watch anybody else while I'm trading. I don't like to be influenced, but I'll definitely have to go by and check in on your videos after the fact. Digital says, no problem, bud. That's what I'm here for. All good in the same way. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, 'cause I'm just, I'm definitely the kind of person that's just more interested in like seeing people do well. And, if I have like a constructive criticism, I think that's fine. Or someone has a constructive criticism for me, I appreciate that. But when someone is obviously just trying to like, give you shit for the way you're trading, it's just like, all right, fuck off. Yeah, that's basically what I told that guy today. I've always appreciated you coming around. My digital says he's done for the day. I bounce around channels once I'm done for the day. Yeah. I try to do that when I can. I think it's because lately I've had my daughter at home from school. So like she was home for a week and then she had a week of school and then she's home for a week this week because of July 4th. So on those days, I just really can't, I can't do it because she just wants all of my attention. But yeah, I'm kind of the same. Like when I can, that's what I like to do too, is just wrap up my day and then see how all the other YouTube traders I like, how they're doing, what's going on. It's interesting. I didn't even mention it yet, but it's interesting that, Apex shut down their Discord over the weekend, and they put a notice on there saying, they're wanting to make their Discord better. And so they shut it down while they work on setting things up so that they can have a better Discord. It's ironic. Sorry, Digital. Digital said I can't trade and listen to other live stream. Yeah, I'm the same way. But it's ironic because if you were watching my live stream the other day, or I say over the weekend because it feels like it was just the weekend with the 4th of July, but they shut it down, I guess, over the 4th. I think it was yesterday. But it's ironic because the other day I was talking about this guy that was live streaming and he had a problem on Rhythmic, but with another prop firm. And he went on that prop firm's Discord and literally sent them a link to his YouTube and was like, "Hey, what like, I just had a winning trade and it just wiped out all my profits. Like, can you help me out here? This is messed up." And within 15, 20 minutes, they reinstated all of his profit on those accounts, which was like, I forget what it was, like $1,000 or something on each account, something like that. Maybe it's more. I don't even remember, but it was like 15, 20 minutes. Just pop onto the Discord of the prop firm and be like, "Hey, check out this video. Like, there was a problem. Can you fix it?" And they fixed it. It's like, you go to Apex's Discord before, and it's like they just talk shit to you. The mods would just be like, "Yeah, you must be an idiot. You must have fucked up. It has to be your fault." And even when they know, even when they know that they've been having rhythmic issues, the mods would still say that. So it's just so fucked up how it's been at Apex regarding all that stuff. But it's pretty funny that I just talked about that, and I just saw that guy do that on his live stream. Digital, yeah, you know who I'm talking about then. Yeah, he's a good trader. He seems like he's really good. But yeah, I saw that. I was just like, oh my God, like, imagine if Apex was like that. Imagine if Apex could get their shit together enough that they can actually have their Discord be a live service that is a customer related support service instead of whatever that was that they had running, which I never understood what the point of their Discord was when their mods couldn't do anything, and they were like, "Oh, they don't even work for us. They're all just, helping out for free." It's like, well, what's the point, man? Like, why do you have people coming here to tell you to be able to talk directly, and then they're just told, "Well, you're shit out of luck. Sorry." So I just thought it was funny that I had just seen that and just talked about that. And literally it's like the next day, Apex shut down their Discord. And I mean, presumptively, I would hope they're going to hopefully try to do something like that where they can actually help people on there. Because how awesome would Apex be if you could literally just message them on there and send them your video and be like, "Hey, look at what happened." And they'll actually fix it, and like fix it quickly. And none of this, I mean, this back end, customer support by email crap is just so slow. It's just really, it's not acceptable, but especially with all the problems they've been having with Rhythmic. It's just not good enough. So I don't know. I really hope that Apex is trying to figure out how to be better for their customers. That's what they say in their messages, but in their actions, it hasn't been yet. In their actions, it's been blame the customer. They're the, it's like Apex is supposed to somehow be the victim. Oh, they're being schemed and scammed. They gotta, like they're the victims, but we're the ones paying the money, right? So how are they the victims? When I have 2 weeks that I can't trade because the Rhythmic doesn't work. And then for people that do have problems, they can't even, there's no real customer support. Oh, sounds like my daughter's waking up. She usually wakes up like an hour ago, so especially for school. So she's slept in pretty late today. I probably should start prepping my thumbnail in case I have to get out of here. So sounds like my daughter is definitely waking up here. Give her a couple minutes also just to see if my wife is going to get her at all. Just give it a couple extra minutes, and then if it looks like she's up and no one's getting her, then I'll have to shut this down. Oh, sorry, Digital. I wasn't reading the chat here. Digital said I had rhythmic issues Tuesday, really bad. Reversed a couple times, a couple of my trades, nearly blowing my account. Had to make it all back, being aggressive. Wow. Yeah, that's right, actually. That reminds me. I remember I got word that there was some problems on Tuesday. I didn't experience them for myself, but I had heard personally from people I know that are trading on it as well, that they had problems, same as you. So, yeah, it's ridiculous, right? And like, how do they offer a service? And it's like, that's a platform that, it's like we either have to use that or we have to use TradeAway. We have to use one or the other, and that's what they offer. And, it's pretty incumbent on them to be, to make sure that, the systems that they put in place for us to use can be used properly, without these sorts of issues. All right, so all this action's gone really tight in here. But yeah, it's funny. I was watching this documentary last night about Movie Pass, if you remember Movie Pass, and it's on Max streaming. And at one point of the documentary, it was talking about how it was really an unsustainable business, that they were offering unlimited movies, essentially, what a movie a day, any day of the week, any theater, any movie, and they're offering it for $9.99 a month, which is how they exploded with the number of subscribers that they got. Which reminded me instantly of Apex and how Apex exploded by offering all these really cheap discounted rates on their evaluations. And I mean, this is not to say that this is what Apex is doing, but I had this thought because at some point, when the business was becoming really unsustainable and Movie Pass was running out of money, they started doing things to make it so that their subscribers couldn't use Movie Pass to go see certain movies or go to certain theaters. They started doing things that would deny the transaction, so that they just couldn't go see the movie they wanted to see. It wouldn't work. And then more and more people were just not being able to use their Movie Pass all of a sudden. And it was all because they were just trying to buy time to get more money. So like if people kept paying the subscription, maybe not noticing, maybe not going, or maybe it would, this is my own conjecture, but maybe people would decide, oh, maybe I'll give it a week before I try again or something. And it was all designed to like give the company more time to either have more people paying the fees and not actually using it, so that their capital can build back up a little bit before they turned it all back on. And I had this weird thought last night while I was watching that, like, oh, what if that's Apex? What if Apex is like messing around, just to like try to get through some kind of rough period. And, it's a really terrible thought. I hate to have that thought because I've always been a supporter of Apex. I've never traded with anyone else. I've never really bought into like conspiracy theories that go around about them. And, every other week somebody's, claiming that, Apex is going to go out of business. They're going to change all the rules. They're going to take away the 20 accounts, all this stuff. Right. And then, we've seen some of that already where they start changing the rules and just the way they've been dealing with their customers has seemed a lot less, I don't know, just they seem less friendly to the users. And it just makes me think like, oh, I don't know. I mean, watching that documentary, maybe there's something to that. I hope not. But Digital says, yeah, that would suck. Yeah, I hope that's not the case. But I really, honestly, I had this like really weird feeling when I watched that Movie Pass documentary, and the thought just like hit me of like, well, if a company like that would do that, that was a public company, they had stock, they were part of another, they were, there was an umbrella company they were under. So it was a publicly held company, and they were doing stuff like that. And, Apex is private. They could do whatever they wanted, and there's no way for it to show. I mean, MoviePass kind of, the other part of it was that, there was a filing that had to be filed for the earnings report for the umbrella company. And it was clear like that there was a line item where they're taking huge losses, and it was MoviePass. So there was kind of like a public facing part of it where people kind of were able to catch on and go like, oh man, like these guys are in trouble. And, there's nothing, there's no giveaway like that when it comes to Apex. They're a private company, so nobody's going to know until it's too late. But yeah, Digital, I agree. Digital says, I hope everything pans out. I do too. I hope everything's on the up and up, and I hope there is no issue like that. I'm so tempted to want to go short, but because it's a first entry long, second entry long failure, that I wasn't going to take because it was right into potential support. But now you have a lower high right along the bottom. It won't matter if it doesn't trigger, obviously. Yeah, I hope that's not a thing. I hope that's just my own twisted mind watching a documentary about another company and just, connecting dots that don't exist. All right, so that was never triggered anyways, what I was thinking there. And what's the next level? Next level is like here or here. I'm just going to take this off because I don't think it's very helpful. But yeah, it's funny because my brother trades with Apex, and there's been a lot of times where he's like, I really think that they do it on purpose, like the rhythmic issues. Like he said it to me multiple times where he thought like, there's times where they're doing it for a reason. And I've always been like, nah, no way, and also because just the nature of it, like Rhythmic is its own company, so to think that somehow Apex would get in there and mess with it, I just, I've always kind of shrugged and be like, nah, I don't think so. Because then, if Rhythmic were to let a third party get away with that on their data feed, that would ruin Rhythmic as well. Although I would think Rhythmic being so inconsistent with how good their data, how good their data is, would be a problem in and of itself. But man, go watch that go watch that Movie Pass documentary and tell me what you think, because it just makes me think like, hey, anything's possible, with these prop firms, it's all largely unregulated. There's a CME aspect of it that's regulated. It's not like CFDs, but yeah, Digital says I think they have their own server. Well, that's exactly right. So if Apex has their own dedicated server, I mean, does that open up for the potential for them to have some sort of access that they wouldn't have otherwise? That they can control anything with the data? I have no idea. I don't know how that works. I'm just asking the questions. So it's like one thing if the servers are all offsite and they have no access, but if they have their own server, is it their own server on site? Do they have people that go into the server on site? How does it all work? Nobody knows. Yeah. So, just given that, I can see why people would, come up with these kind of theories or question it. Digital says, but the only reason I don't think it's on purpose is because it happens to other props. Yeah, I agree to a degree. I mean, it happens to other props, but it also happens where it's only on Apex and other props are completely fine at the same time. So I've seen both situations. So, which just makes it all more murky, right? Like that could be more cover, you know? Again, I don't want to peddle conspiracy theories, and this is all just speculation. I don't think, I'm not saying that's what's actually happening, but you got to wonder sometimes. Digital says may not be all at the same time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I mean, there's just been so many problems, and it's the timing of it, like that it happened right after like they're buckling down on these rules and they got to enforce the rules and making a real point about how they're being schemed and scammed. I mean, when they start talking about being schemed and scammed, it made me think that they felt like they were pouring out money, right? And if that's what they're reacting to, is that they're just, if money's just pouring out of them, then their concern is that they're not making enough money for that money to go out. It just seems like a reasonable thing to think about. So, I mean, on the one hand, it's like I agree. Like I don't want them to get schemed and scammed, because if that's what's going on out there and people are taking advantage and just kind of taking advantage of the relaxed rules and just siphoning money out of them, and it's more than they can reasonably handle, because they're expecting honest brokers on our side, honest traders. I get that. But if they're more like MoviePass, where they did this cheap, low barrier price entry and it's not sustainable, and now there's so many traders and there's so many good traders that are taking money out that they can't sustain the business, then all of a sudden that's when companies start doing things like that, right? Just like MoviePass, they had to essentially turn off the ability of people to go see the movies every day whenever they wanted. And that was the whole thing, right? That was the business. And so now, you could kind of apply it to Apex and say, well, what if they're trying to turn off trading on certain days or at certain times just to get by another month? If they wipe out enough accounts and they don't fix them, or if they make it so enough people don't trade that day and therefore they have to pay another monthly fee, or, just who knows, whatever it is. I mean, I don't think that's what's happening. I don't know that's what's happening, but watching that MoviePass movie really made me think about it. It made me think like, well, they were doing it. Why, is there really a reason why Apex wouldn't do something like that too? Who knows? I obviously, I hope not. I mean, I'm like $3,000 into Apex. I've got no payouts, so I would really like my chance to hopefully get a payout at some point. I mean, I'm still a long way away, but I've got 5 good opportunities here, 5 accounts, all opportunities to get payouts. Just one payout gets me 2/3 of my money back. So, At the very least, I hope that I'm able to accomplish that before they go out of business. But it was also, maybe that's why I was more aggressive today and took 3 trades like pretty quickly, because I think like, well, maybe I just need to be more aggressive to have a real chance at getting the money before anything happens. Digital says shutting down the Discord might be a beginning of a rug pull. Well, right. So I mean that's actually kind of part of part of all of the thoughts. Digital says laugh out loud, joking. Just kidding. Hope not. Yeah, but it's true. I mean, it's part of my thoughts. It's like, okay, well, if they take that away, now there goes the only place where people felt like they could go and complain directly to Apex. So now that's not an option anymore. There's no channel on their Discord that allows anyone to post anything. So, you know, I mean, I hope not, but just be aware, right? That's something that could be happening for all we know. And watching that Movie Pass documentary really made me feel like, oh wow, like I shouldn't just rule that out completely, because you would have never thought that that company was going to be going out of business the way it did. It was, I mean, it happened so fast, and it was literally like it got shut down when it was just like they had no money. You know, it was like that's the point it got to. They couldn't extend it any further, and that company was looking for new investors. They're looking to raise more money, and nobody wanted to touch it. It was just clear, like there wasn't a business, you know. And a lot of people apparently in the company were saying like, we got to raise the prices to make this sustainable. And I mean, there's a lot more to it, because the original founders of MoviePass, I didn't realize this. They were 2 black guys that actually founded MoviePass and had the idea and built it and the whole thing. And then they actually eventually relinquished control over to these 2 white guys. And those 2 white guys, of course, ran it into the ground, because, you know, the white guys are actually always the crooks, if you think about it. I'm a white guy, but when you think about who's actually destroying businesses, it's always a white guy that's behind it, one way or the other, if you think about it. But I didn't, you know, so it's different, because it wasn't the original founders that weren't making the good decisions to make the company run the way it needed to. And in this case, you know, I would think Daryl, it's his baby. And I've seen him say many times in interviews that Apex, you know, he decided to open up Apex and create a prop firm because he wanted a prop firm that was for the traders, you know, built by a trader himself for traders. And that's what his intention was. And he wanted a prop firm that would pay out according to the rules, and, you know, no, you know, shenanigans about it or whatever. And I've seen him say it many times, but then, you know, somehow Apex has become that company that, the company that he was trying to like stop trading with, and the reason why he wanted to create his own. It's like, it's morphed into this monster that he never intended it to be, it seems like. But he's at the reins, you know, he can still make it the company he intends it to be. And that's what I hope for, you know. I hope that his original intentions are still valid, and that he's still that guy. So time will tell. But man, I really want to figure out how to get to a payout before it's too late, if that's the case. Hopefully Apex solves their stuff. You know, I really think they just need a real PR department. I feel like, I don't know who this Mark Skellington, Mark John, goes by all these names. I don't know who he is, but he has a very similar voice to Daryl. I wonder if it's his brother. I've wondered that for a long time, because if I were the owner of that company, and this guy was putting out the material he's putting out to the subscriber base, blaming them and, you know, kind of gaslighting them, and just, you know, really not being customer friendly. If I was the owner, I'd be like, nah, man, we can't have you be the face and the voice of the voice of the company. When, you know, that's how you're speaking to them. It's just off-putting to the customer base. I would put an end to that. But the guy still seems to be doing his thing. Yeah. But, you know, he seems to be the guy that puts all the rules. You know, Mark is the one that seems to be in charge of, you know, the rules and compliance and all that stuff, which is fine. Like, leave him in compliance, but why is he the guy talking to the people with the attitude that he has towards us? So that's my take on it. But in the meantime, having said all that, Apex is still the only prop firm I've ever traded with. And unless they give me a reason, I'm not planning on going anywhere else. So, and I know that they're still paying out. So having said everything I just said, I know people personally that have gone payouts recently, like big payouts. So I know they're still getting paid out. Even on a couple of the accounts that got paid out on, they were really close to the 30% rule, and they still paid on those. So until I see better evidence that's not happening anymore, then, you know. Also at this point, I mean, I've got no more monthly fees. I will likely cancel my current evaluations that are blown. I've got two. I've got the 250K that I blew up today, and then I've got another 50K that I blew up a week ago or whatever it was. So I've got those two. They don't renew for a while still, another 3 weeks or something, I think. I'll likely just cancel those, and all of my current PAs are lifetime fee PAs. So I've got no more future fees coming. I'd really like to work on these 5 accounts. It's hard to imagine I won't get to a payout on at least 1 or 2 of them, but you know, I mean, I got off to a good start on this PA11. I had like 1,000 more than I'm at right now. So obviously I've got to build it back up. And, you know, I was like halfway there, and now I'm not. So I'm hoping that I can get payouts on these 5 accounts before I really need to do anything else with any other fees. So that's how I kind of designed this for myself. Digital says, did you see MFF new update? Yeah, with their starter account. Yeah, so it looks like it's possible to get, I think it's $80 all in is what I saw. And if you pass the evaluation, there's no extra fee for the funded account. And then I guess if you use a code, it's possible to get 5% off. So I think it turns it into like something like $75 or something like that. Yeah, I saw that, but I don't like, personally, I'm not a fan of my funded features. There's just something about that company I find shady, and the people that run it. There's been evidence in the past of the CEO and in the effects for Forex side of things being up to some shady stuff. And I don't know. I think I don't trust any company that comes from Forex. You know, I know they're doing futures now, but anybody that's running a company that came from the Forex world, I just don't trust them, because there was so much in the Forex world that was being done that was really shady. And I think they just bringing all of that into the futures world. So I'm staying away. But, you know, my funded futures has been, you know, they're still pretty new. They've only been around since like the beginning of the year, something like that. The end of last year, beginning of this year in futures. So I'm just waiting. You know, I don't really see a reason to move over to them. Also, I mean, they were, you know, Apex didn't get strict on their rules until my funded futures came into the game, and they've been really strict the whole time. And so I almost feel like it gave Apex a reason to be able to be more strict, because they're like, okay, well, our competition is super strict, so if we're the same, then who cares? You know, I feel like maybe there was a calculation like that. Oh, Digital says I've been hearing the same. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a feeling I have that I don't trust them. So, Apex hasn't done anything to make me lose trust with them entirely. But at the same time, there's been like you know, little red flags, right? So I'm a little skeptical of Apex, but I still trade with them. I still haven't seen any signs of like just like blatant crime kind of thing, like a movie pass situation where there's blatantly, obviously, turning it off. Like Robin Hood with GameStop when they turned off the buy button. But I am kind of, my eyes are open, right? It's like I'm definitely feeling a little skeptical and just being aware of the possibilities, I guess. And we'll see what happens. I'd like to just believe that Apex is on the up and up and they're honest. But you just never know. You really just never know. All right. It seems like my daughter is starting to want to get up. Before it was looking like she was content to stay in bed. She still hasn't called for me. So the other day I went in there to get her when she was clearly awake and she was like, I don't want to get up. She's talking, trying to hear her. Well, I'm gonna have to stop anyways because I know I'm gonna have to get up, or get her up. So I'm gonna stop here. Digital, thanks for coming by. I'm gonna call it. Digital says, have a good weekend. I'll check back with next week. Cool. Yeah, you have a good weekend as well. So that's gonna be it. I'm gonna take a red day today. Small red day. I'll accept that. 271 and 291. So I'll be back at it Monday. Come by, check it out, Digital. And I'll try to, even though I won't watch, maybe I'll just try to at some point just check in on your stream and see how it looks. But just see how you're doing. But yeah, everyone have a good weekend. Appreciate you coming by. Hopefully there won't be anyone else wanting to come in here and troll, but I give everyone a chance, and then when it's pretty clear that they're just here to troll and have fun, trying to mess with me, then that's when I'll block them. But otherwise, I don't mind constructive criticism, but I am trying to trade here, and this is my trading journey, not someone in the chat's story to come in here and be able to try to get me off my game. So, all right, I think I've said it all. Hopefully Apex will come back better and stronger in their Discord, offer some kind of customer support in there directly, actually respect their traders, and hopefully everything's going to lead to bigger and better as we move forward. So we'll see what happens. And having said all that, don't use the code over the weekend. Wait till Monday at the very least if you're going to use a code. And if you don't trust these prop firms, then just stay away. I think it's definitely risky. The thing is, it could be low risk, but when you're at it long enough, it turns into higher risk, right? So I'm in for about 3,000. Never thought I would even be in for 3,000 without payouts, but I am. So, all those times you get in for $16 or $34, depending on the 80% or 90% discount, it all adds up, and then you pay for the PA fees. It all adds up. And then before you know it, you're in for $3,000 like me. So, all right. Anyway, definitely said it all. Have a good weekend, and I'll be back Monday morning. I'm out of here.